The apocalyptic vision of fire bursting from the earth haunts man with the image of all in nature that is beyond his control. In the face of destruction, man turns to his God. His faith and the will to believe are all he has against the fear and despair that have always been part of his precarious place on the planet. History is filled with the struggles of the human spirit to endure against forces in nature we can neither understand nor control. Man remains helpless when facing the awesome powers of the violent earth. Before man, before any living thing, the surface of an infant planet evolved in a process of violence that is still going on. The volcano gives man a fiery image of a time in the Earth's development, some 4 billion years ago. Magma, the seething mixture of molten rock and gases that breaks through faults in the Earth's crust as volcanoes, forms the surface of the planet we brazenly call our own. The cooling volcanic landscape, a world of gray desolation, provides a wondrous paradox. It is the ravaged corpse on which life appears. With life comes man. Haroun Tazieff is a 58-year-old geologist who has challenged the forces of nature for a quarter of a century. At the head of a team of French and Swiss scientist mountaineers, he explores the barren slopes and poisonous gases that have shrouded volcanoes in legend since the beginnings of man. At the top of the world, he seeks out the power that begins in the heart of the earth. Haroun Tazieff's laboratory is the crater lip of an active volcano. Perched on the edge of eternity, he collects and measures the deadly swirling gases in search of an answer to the mystery of volcanic activity. In his personal struggle with the Earth's power, he has led the little-known science of volcanology out of the laboratory to the volcano itself. Throughout Europe, they are known as Tazieff's gang. The unorthodox scientific team includes volcanologists, chemists, nuclear physicists, and alpine mountain climbers. They share a kind of athlete's devotion to a winning coach, a total commitment to science and nature, and an unabashed love of adventure. Tazieff has added the mountaineer's daring to the scientist's curiosity. He and members of his team have climbed volcanic peaks from Iceland to Africa, from the Andes to Indonesia. From the crater of an active volcano to a rugby field in Paris is not really much of a jump for Tazieff and his personal brand of science and sport.
I became this strange type of volcanologist I am. From the very start, I tackled the volcano not only from a scientific point of view, but at the same time from a battling point of view, from a sporting point of view. To me, from the very first time, the volcanic eruption was a challenge, something to win, you see. And as I am an old mountaineer, ancient boxer, and still rugby player, as soon as a challenge arises, I'm like a bull, ready to fight it.
Mount Etna, Sicily, April 5th, 1971. The largest active volcano in Europe provides Tazieff and his team with the perfect laboratory. A volcano in full eruption. On the trembling mountain already scarred with craters of hundreds of past eruptions, new fissures burst open. Instruments for collecting and measuring the volcanic gases must be carried by volcanologists to the source of the eruption through a red-hot rain of flying lava. Like knights in some mythical joust, the volcanologists approach the dragon and poke their lances into its flaming mouth. The temperature at the vent is almost 2,000 degrees. If they are struck by a chunk of burning lava, it could tear through the helmet and the man inside. Again and again, Tazieff and his scientists pit their strength against the power of the volcano. The jets of gas burst out of the vent at a velocity of 500 feet per second. In the deadly swirling gases above the cauldron of molten rock, a lone man defies the Earth's mightiest force. On a mountaintop in Sicily, reality takes on the unearthly image of science fiction. For 69 days, Mount Etna roars out her fury, annihilating everything that stands before it. the relentless lava pours down the slopes, as it has since Etna's first recorded eruption, more than 2,000 years ago. The tiny wine-growing village of Fornazzo lies helpless in its path. For 5 years, Mount Etna rumbled a warning to the people of Fornazzo. They would not leave their village. They remain in the vineyards even now. It is their land. The constant threat of eruption is the price they pay for the most fertile soil in Sicily, Etna's volcanic slopes. The lava flows through the outlying vineyards to the town of Fornazzo itself. The people grudgingly accept their fate. To live on the slopes of Mount Etna is to know how powerless man really is against the unknown forces locked deep in the earth that will someday, any day, rise up to destroy him. Yet there are those who remain. They will stay on their land until the last possible moment. Theirs is the human spirit that stands against the forces of destruction and clings to life. That spirit is Tazieff's message in the lecture halls of Europe. We are man, he tells us. We cannot wait for the powers of nature to wash us away. We must meet them head on their own terms, and we must win. Always, it is the athletic challenge. He tells the students, science is my life, the sport of it, my passion. For years, Tazieff was considered a rebel scientist, an adventurer. Today, he is the director of France's National Center for Scientific Research. His challenge to nature is accepted by young people all over the world.
Last call for Flight 23, boarding at Gate 9. Flight 411, now arriving.
At New York's John F. Kennedy Airport in the summer of 1972, a group of American students prepare to join Tazieff on an expedition through the rainforest of Central Africa to an active volcano called Nyiragongo.
I don't know what to expect. I'm just kind of tagging along.
Did you know that we're going to live inside the volcano?
Yeah, Bob had told me that.
Yeah.
The students are scholarship winners from all over the United States, chosen by the Explorers Club and the U.S. Office of Education. With them is a group of interested amateurs whose dream is field research. They were selected not only for their interest in the earth sciences, but also for their athletic ability and personality. Tazieff's Nyiragongo expedition will test them beyond the limits of scientific inquiry.
Only one small part of Africa.
After a 22-hour flight, the students arrive in the Republic of Zaire, once the Belgian Congo. They are met by Robert Citron, head of Educational Expeditions International, a Massachusetts-based organization that sponsors scientific field expeditions for students and amateurs. A bewildering blur of sights and sounds flies past the students as the expedition speeds towards its destination. They have only a few days for sightseeing on their way across Zaire's wide savannas before they will meet Tazieff and the rest of the expedition. It is the only chance the students will have to see the Africa which has haunted the imagination of Western man. For a few days, they are tourists in the exotic panorama where tribal life and wild animals exist together in a landscape of dreamlike contradictions. The student safari is stopped at a river in the foothills of the volcanic Virunga mountain range. From here, the Americans are able to see for the first time the reason they have come 6,000 miles from home. Ahead of them, rising out of the jungle mists, is Nyiragongo. In the tribal village of Kabati, at the foot of Nyiragongo, men from the surrounding area have come to work as bearers for $1 a day. 150 are chosen. Haroun Tazieff is assembling the largest group ever to climb Nyiragongo. The bearers will carry the expedition's 3 tons of supplies and scientific gear in packs of 40 pounds each on their backs, or in more traditional African fashion. Besides the Americans, there's an international brigade of scientists and a dozen skilled mountain climbers brought along by Tazieff as a safety precaution. For the 58-year-old Tazieff, the expedition may be the last round in the continuing battle he's fought with the mountain since 1947. He was on Nyiragongo then as a geologist, and the experience thrust his career and his life in a new direction.
But I was not interested. Because I didn't know it was active, and I was not a volcanologist. Okay. Then in '48, I came back as a volcanologist.
For the first few miles, the students managed to keep up with Tazieff. The twisting elephant trails that zigzag up the 11,400-foot mountain become an exhausting classroom for the old mountaineer's impromptu lectures on volcanology. Deeper in the rainforest, the walk becomes a climb, and the expedition breaks into many small groups, each keeping its own pace. The air is noticeably thinner, and climbing is difficult.
How was it?
Marvelous. Except we're famished.
Here you go.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, got one.
I got a cramp in there. Coffee, tea, or milk?
How about some soup?
Hot chocolate.
More soup?
I think we could have gone faster. It was just more fun this way.
Come on, the last one up. Come on, come on.
If you promise to put it at the front.
The first day ends 2/3 the way up the mountain, 9,000 feet above sea level. From here, they can see the bleak, wind-swept summit of Nyiragongo. After a 2-day climb through sweltering rainforest, a group of American students reaches the near freezing summit of Nyiragongo. They have come 6,000 miles for the experience.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Took you long enough to get here.
Look at that!
Took you so long.
You can't picture something.
It was flinging some hot rocks up a while ago.
Do you believe that?
Whoa!
You see that rock there, that big rock? Yeah, the one that's kind of That's what we're going to be standing on.
We're going to be standing on that big rock?
That's where that guy, that other guy was photographed from, right?
See the rock right there.
Look at it. Look at it. Look
It's
at
going
it.
through the smoke.
Right there. Look at it breaking up.
Right.
You see it right there?
Wow.
Yes.
650 feet below is Nyiragongo's active lake of molten lava. Sudden eruptions causing the lake to rise and fall spasmodically will make any attempt to reach it extremely dangerous, if not impossible.
And it overflow it, you'll see it when you'll be down. And then it's receded, and a small collapse of the whole former, in the whole former pit.
The lava fountain.
Yes, you can say so.
Believe it.
It looks like it's rising, doesn't it?